All right, guys, thanks for joining us this Monday. I am so excited that you guys are all here. It just shows how committed you are. It is summer officially here at our house. So my kids know that they've got to be watching a show for this amount of time. While we're doing this, we're going to be off to a birthday party and then swimming. But, really it's like making things work while you can, because a lot of us are moms at home with, kiddos running around. And some of us have 2-3 jobs. Whatever, life's happening, but we're still showing up and making a commitment to be here and to be successful, because you're here, you'll be successful. Just stick with it, guys. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about connecting matters and the 7 motivations of people. I really did want to, kind of talk about just like focusing in on weeks. And I know Isagenix does this, but like week 1 being a focus of connection, and like week 2 focusing on presentations, and week 3 follow-up, and then enrollment, right? You can have highly focused weeks on these things. Of course, other like enrollments can happen here or there, but like, for example, Laura, who enrolled 7 people, that was her high enrollment week. So the next week she's going to take on developing them, probably sending them a welcome email, getting them started on their box, getting them great results their first few days, and then enrolling their people, right? So developing people. So there's different weeks for different things. Now summer's here, a lot of events are happening. There are birthday parties, we're having beach day Wednesdays, pool day Tuesdays, there are things that are happening. Barbecues. This is the time to be planting the seeds and to meeting people and connecting with people. Like you wouldn't believe. You need to get out to all of those things for community, just for yourself. You guys, I remember being, a new mom and just needing people in my life. And so I joined the nursing groups, and then I joined the Central Coast Park play dates. And, Laura's got those hikers groups. And so just getting out and meeting people and having that community, just because you need it for sanity, but also for lifelong friends. And then you may have something of value to offer them, but you'll be blessed by their relationship anyways. So something that I want you guys to write down and remember for connecting in general and as a human being is, number 1, to add value to people, okay? Number 2, think of ways to add value to people. Number 3, look for ways to add value to people. Sounds repetitive, but it's like real, guys. Do things, number 4, do things that add value to people. Number 5, encourage others to add value to people. That's being a good person. That's great connecting, right? So this is all from John Maxwell. He's just a leadership guru. And his thing is, he's like, every single day, find ways to add value to people, and then look for ways, and then do that, and then encourage others to do that. That's so cool. So for connecting, I want you guys to write these things down, and I want you to rate yourself, but then also think of others in your life. And it's actually a really great thing to do for your team. So as a leader, maybe go back to your team members, or like in the group, say, hey, this is my number or whatever, or chat down here in the box, and you can say your numbers or whatever. But I want you to think of these 7 motivators in your life. So this is for you personally right now, but then later go on and ask your team members. Okay, so number 1, purpose. So now this is a motivator for your life. So purpose, does purpose motivate you? So think of it like that. So on a scale from 1 to 10, purpose. People want to do what they were created to do. They're motivated to discover what they were made for. So on a scale from 1 to 5, how much does purpose matter to your life? So you're somebody who wants to do what they were created to do, right? It's number 1, purpose. Number 2 is autonomy. So autonomy is like, being your own boss, or being independent, or having freedom and control in your life. So on a scale to 1 to 10, 1 to 5, how important is autonomy in your life? Being independent and being, having that freedom in your life. Number 3, relationships. So people wanting to do things with others, loving to go to work because of the people that you work with. You love them so much. So scale from 1 to 5, how important are relationships and the people. Like, does that motivate you? People motivate you. Progress, number 4. So progress, people wanting to experience personal and professional growth. So how important is progress in your life? Do you like to be able to, look back and be like, wow, I've moved so much, like I've grown so much, does that personal growth and progress, how important is that for you on a scale from 1 to 5? Okay, number 5, mastery. People wanting to excel in their skill, motivated by excellence and gradual progression of striving to be better. So, so like that for me is really important. That, I mean, on a scale from 1 to 5, like I don't know, that motivates me. I'm like, okay, I never want to be where I was before. I want to be better, and like doing it as best as I can do it, and then exceeding every single day. So mastery. Number 6, recognition. So people wanting their work and accomplishments recognized. Now there's 2 different ways to do this. So as a leader, just thinking about this, so think about that for yourself. How much, like, does that recognition matter to you? So private and public. So as a leader, knowing this, so private recognition, so connection, being proud of them, something that, so like you're going to be privately like say, oh my gosh, like you did incredible. Like you're an amazing person. I'm so proud of you. The private recognition, and then the public recognition is for like ovation. So for others to chime in and say, wow, yeah, that's incredible. You did this, you did that, whatever. Like both of those. So that's all under recognition. But as a leader, you should be doing both, private and public. Number 7, money. So people highly motivated with, so it's people, sorry, my handwriting and like this is funny, but basically people being motivated to have options because of money and helping people with money. So how much money, so for John Maxwell, it's something that he's very motivated by because he wants to give away more money each year, and he wants it to be like an insane amount. So like that's going to help more people. It's going to give you more options. So does money motivate? It doesn't have to just be like, I want the most money in the world. It's like, okay, what that money is going to do for people. So it's not super, it's what the money's going to do. So in those 7 areas, from a scale from 1 to 5, see where you're rated. And the more, this is the thing. Okay, so when I took this test, I was like, I'm putting like a 4 and 5 for literally all of these. And I was like, I shouldn't be doing that. Like I should lower them. And I even went back. I was like, oh, I should lower them. And he stopped, like when we were done, he was like, the more you put high numbers on things, the more motivated you are in your life. So 4s and 5s are highly motivated people. And like I was second guessing myself. I'm like, shoot, I should put 2, like it should be like 1, 2, 3, 4, like, all over the place. But I was like, I didn't know that I like recognition. I didn't know that I was super motivated by money. I didn't know that so it's really great for you to see, but also, and you may grow in certain areas in time, but like, it's really great to see too your people and be like, hey, they're not super motivated by money, like at all. And that's okay. That is totally fine, but they're really motivated by relationships and being their own boss. Like that's, so really where to work with people and like where to kind of push people, but also can see like how unmotivated people are and possibly like if you're wasting your time. And even for yourself. So I had this conversation, I forget like who I was talking to, but maybe it was the John Maxwell thing, but just realizing like I have this burning desire in my life and like I want it so bad for people. And maybe that's you. Maybe you're leading this team and you're like, I don't know why I'm the only one who wants it. Like I don't know why I'm the only one who sees it. And it's like, I would do anything to be successful, to help other people be successful, but you cannot do that for other people. And it's just, I guess I was just a highly motivated person. And there are those people out there. There's those 4s and 5s in those areas out there who it doesn't matter what their upline, sideline, downline is doing. They're going to go no matter what. And it doesn't matter what the economy is doing. It doesn't matter what people are saying about network marketing or Isagenix. They're going to be doing this no matter what. And, you know, of course, you're going to have those down times, ups and downs, but it's so important to see like what's really motivating you and what motivates people, because you want to connect with people. And David Wood talks about this all the time, about how to connect with people. So this whole 7 motivations of people is awesome. That's going to be for like next step after you've connected with people and they're doing Isagenix and whatnot. But for the initial connection with people, for these events that you're going to be doing, or meeting people at birthday parties this summer, you really want to connect with people on the 5 things that I said, you know, how you can add value to them, look for value that you can give them, you know, do things that add value, and then teach people to add value. So those are going to be your like 5 main things this summer, but also connecting on any and every level. I'm going to give you guys a weird example. It didn't turn out to be anything, but it doesn't matter. Practicing this is so important. I went to a Mexican restaurant like Friday. I didn't have my kids with me and I wasn't going to be on my phone. I made a choice to like just not be on my phone. I ordered and there were 3 people in the shop. There was an 18-year-old guy and an older couple. And I walked in and I sat down, and I think the older woman was trying to help me order because I was like, I've never been here. And so she was kind, and we started talking about something. It was something that we connected on. So Mexican food. I was like, man, San Diego has like the best Mexican food on the planet. And she's like, we really do. And so we just got to talking, and it led into, my goodness, like all sorts of things. And then this 18-year-old who was not on his phone, he was eating alone, jumped on in the conversation. And so then we're talking to him, and I was like, wow, you're so young and you're not on your phone and you're wanting to talk to us and we're older. And we just had this conversation and we connected on Mexican food. And then like it led it, she's like, what do? You look so young, you have kids. Wow. Oh my gosh, they're so old. Like, how is that possible? And I was like, my nutrition. And she said, the first thing that I heard her say when I walked in there was, oh, we're all trying to lose weight, so we don't want the carbs. Like, she was very, and so I heard that right away, and I stored that away in my brain, right? And, but she's like, what do you do? And I'm like, I'm in the health and wellness business. And she's like, really, what is it? And I told her it's Isagenix. She's like, oh my gosh, I've used that. I loved that. That's amazing. You know, and so, but regardless, we're all having conversations of all different things, and they're a different age, you know, young, old. And I just was intentional about making those people feel loved and heard and seen. Didn't go anywhere. I didn't get their information. That wasn't the point. The point was, I'm not on my phone. I'm going to see people and I'm going to love people in this moment. I could be in a hurry. I could be messaging people. I could be whatever. But you guys, there's so many different ways that you can connect with people out and about every single day at the grocery store. I was at Costco and met somebody and enrolled them. You know, like just anywhere you are, you're going in to add value. You're going in to make connection. You're not going in to just get an enrollment. That's not the purpose, right? We just want to love people for who they are. But this is a great time because let's just say you're at a beach day, you meet somebody and you friend them on social media. Well, you've been so consistent on your social media with, you know, your time freedom, with, you know, your healthy food, with your summer slim down stuff. They're going to want to know more about what you do. I know Natalia says it all the time. She's like, during the day, and I didn't realize how important this was until recently. She's like, during the day, I video my son because I'm home with him, and I build up FOMO for all the moms that want to be home and be with their kids. And I was like, oh, wow, that's interesting. I never even thought of that. I just film my kids whenever, you know. But she's like, no, they want that. And I make it a point to be like, I am making money from home with my kid, you know, so just being intentional about those things. But they wouldn't know that if you didn't meet them in person. Like Laura Fisher's in Hawaii and she meets these people. I'm going to bet, you can say in the chat, Laura, I'm going to bet she met them and friended them on social media in some way. Laura's very consistent about her fitness, about her health, and about this vehicle of Isagenix. So she enrolled 7 people. So, and 2 of them being from that trip to Hawaii. So it's just so important, right? And I just think that you know, we can get distracted with summer and we can have all these excuses of, you know, well, but I'm busy and I've got these, and I've got this sport and I've got this going on and my kids are here and la, 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 la. I don't really want to hear it because I'm going to be going live on my Facebook wall with Barbie. If you guys don't know Barbie, she won the Heart of Isagenix Award this last, I want to say it was Celebration or it was New Year's kickoff. She had breast cancer and has twins, and she has 3 kids. She's got twins and her daughter. And she has no excuses. And you guys are going to hear that on the live, but basically she went to New Year's kickoff. She went to Celebration. She drove 4 hours right after her mastectomy. Like literally a week later, drove 4 hours for a launch party. Like, you guys, there's zero excuses that you have. Like, you've got your kids at home. She made the decision. I'm leaving my corporate job to do Isagenix. She found out, I think it was 3 weeks or 3 months later, that she was diagnosed with breast cancer. And she's like, well, I made a commitment. And so she's, you know, doing what she needs to do for her family. And so, you know, she's got the kids at home. She's like, okay, well, I'm going to find childcare, or I'm going to put a 2-hour movie on. That's okay, you guys. We are moms home with our kids. I tell my kids all the time, like, you're so lucky to have me. They don't know what it's like to not have a mom at home and be in daycare. And I tell them all the time what it's like. It's not great, because I had that. And so just being able to say, you know, like, you get out of the house. So I'll give you an example of what my life looked like with super young kids at home. So with a 9-month-old and a 3-year-old, I would, at nap time, I'd be on the phone. Right when they woke up, there would be a show. Sorry, there'd be like a 2-hour time where I'm messaging people. After that, we go to a park. Okay. Go to a park. Okay. Bedtime rolls around. They're in bed. I'm messaging people. So like, I give them a little, like, they're going to go play, get their energy out, whatnot. When we're outside at the house and they're playing, I might be on my phone. I might be playing with them. And then I might go back on my phone. Right. So it was a lot. While I was nursing, I'm on my phone. You know, like, because the thing is, sacrifice is important. You've got to make sacrifices now for what you could be giving your kids and your family and legacies to come. The sacrifices are so, you have to make them. And asking yourself on a scale from 1 to 10, and it's okay, you guys, if you're like a 3 and you only want to bring in $500 a month, that's fine. But ask yourself, truly, like, reflect, okay, on a scale from 1 to 10, how bad do you want things to change? And like, what amount of income do you want to bring in, right? And then, are you willing to do the things? Are you willing to commit? And commitment is doing the thing even after that feeling has passed. Like, even after the feeling of wanting to, like, you're still committed to do it. These launch parties and things, like, how committed are you to your goals on a scale from 1 to 10? Or are you just kind of like, meh, whatever, like, I'll take it or leave it? If you look at your 7 motivators, like, if you are highly motivated and you know, you're driven, I would imagine that you've got that burning desire within you to do it until, right? Continue until, even after that feeling has passed. Another thing too, is really paying attention. So this is our business, right? So you want to, and you can use this. I keep saying it to myself. I'm like, are you woke? Are you paying attention to things that, like, are happening? So for example, do you know that there's a Summer Shred Slim Down? Do you know that these Monday calls happen? Are you committed? Are they in your phone? How full is your calendar? With even, like, I mean, my calendar's got Disneyland tomorrow. Like, it's fun things, going with new people to make new connections so that I can make new friends, right? So how committed are you to that? I'm going to a birthday party today. I've got swim today. I've got something tonight. You know, I've got a launch party on this day. Like, it's how full is your calendar? Because you can tell by your calendar, like, how successful you are. I think they say, what's that quote? Show me your calendar and I'll show you your income. And it's so true. But like, how, you know, pay attention, because leaders are posting things in the group. You as a leader are probably posting things in the group, but where are your people? Are they noticing these things, or are they texting you like, hey, where's this? Hey, where's that? You've got to pay attention. If you want to be successful, you got to be actively in those groups, paying attention. You know when the events are. You're the one planning events. You're the one posting in the group. You're the one, you know, loud about the Summer Shred Slim Down or loud about Flourish or whatever it may be about the book. Like you just have to be awake and ready to go. And I'm not saying social media is everything. That's where a lot of chatter is for business. And so being like actively going in there. I don't know if you guys have seen the new welcome email that we have. It's been posted in there and it's amazing. So you guys make sure that you're actively in those things, checking it out. Something that I wanted to share too, really quickly, I heard this sermon last night. It was incredible. And it really just correlated with Isagenix so beautifully. So, okay, there was this pastor, he's from Australia, and he was like, he felt really called to start a church in New York. Didn't know a soul, it was in the 80s. And he was like, we're really doing this. He's got his young family, and they go, and there's like, not a huge language barrier, but it was in the 80s where I guess Christians weren't allowed to be in public places like schools and things like that. So I don't know much about that, but I think that was the thing. So they felt called to go there, and he's like, they did handwritten invites. You guys can totally relate to this with launch parties. I know it. You guys, please let me know if you can relate. So they write handwritten invites. They pass them around their whole neighborhood. He's like, not just our neighborhood, like the entire community neighborhood. And then the woman in the building found out that we did that. And so she went to every single door and made sure they signed a petition to kick them out. And he's like, literally everything was coming against us. And then he went to like the local, like Jewish high school, and they had an auditorium, and he went and he's like, listen, I'm a Christian pastor, and I was wondering if I could possibly rent your auditorium. He hadn't even seen it yet. And he was like, sure. And he's like, how much? And he's like, $60. He's like, I'll take it. And there was just him and his little family. I think there was like 4 of them in the family. And he said, he's like, do you want to see the place? He's like, sure. And he was like so disappointed by the place because it was a 1,000-seat auditorium. And he's like, there's 4 of us and no one's showing up. Like, this is so embarrassing. And so they go in there, and he's like trying to get people to come, and no one's coming. And every week no one's there, and they're still having church, but nobody's showing up. And so, they go to this they're like, they're just so discouraged and so like, Lord, what are you doing? So they go to this baseball game as a family, and they're like, it's the American dream, this baseball game, it smells amazing, blah, blah. This woman's sitting next to them, and they have their kids there, and this woman's sitting there, and she's like, what did she say? She's like, hey, where are you guys from? Like, you guys have accents. And they were a little bit like put off, like almost like, we don't really want to open up to you because people have been so mean to them. And so they're like, we're from Australia. And she's like, great. Wow. What do you do? Why are you here? Kind of like, she was just so excited. She was connecting with them. Right. So she wanted to get to know them. And they were like, my husband's job. Like, she wasn't even going to say why they were there. She's like, my husband's job. And she's like, wow, what does he do? And she's like, he's a motivational speaker. Because they've been so like, oh man, just like beat down with the whole thing. And so she's like, she didn't even tell the truth. And then later she was like, we are, pastors. We're trying to build a church here in New York. And she's like, really? Wow. And they're like, do you want to come? And she's like, okay. And so she goes that next Sunday, and they're like doing the welcome team, and there's no one but her who comes in. And he's like, she had like 995 seats to choose from. So she sits in the front row and she's listening, and he does like the altar call, and they're like, do you want to receive Jesus? And she's like, and he's like, does anyone here want to receive? And she like raised her hand, and he's like, okay, come forward. And she like just takes a step because she's already in the front. And he's like, okay. And then the next week brought her family of 4. They got saved. And the next week she brought 4 friends, and they got saved. And then the next week they brought their friends. And it's exactly network marketing. But he's like, you're in this trench, or this what he called it, a river. And this river, where do all rivers end up? You guys, the rivers go into the ocean. So we are in the trenches, we are working, we are going, but it's all going to end up in the ocean, and there is a purpose and there is a reason. And you just have to keep going and not give up, because there are people out there waiting for this opportunity. That girl was chomping at the bit and she just wanted to be invited. And there are people wanting to be invited to your launch party, to your beach day, to your whatever, you guys. They're waiting for you to add value to their lives. And it's so important. Like all John Maxwell talks about is being a servant leader, and that connection matters. He says he walks really slowly through crowds. He truly does. And he looks at people and he holds their hands and shakes their hands. He walks really slowly and sees people, and he wants to get to know you. And he said something that's like super annoying is he has like, not bodyguards, but he goes to other countries and he has people who are like trying to push him through and try to get him through crowds really fast. And he's just like super slow, wanting to say hello to every single person. How are you? Who are you? Like just wanting to, do you make people feel seen? Do you make people feel known and loved? And are you being, here's something that's really important. Are you being really transparent and vulnerable with people to break down walls and build up trust in people's lives? That's probably the number one thing that like I think so important is people really feel like they truly know you, and they'll do whatever you say because they're like, but I don't know, like you're so transparent. And so anyways, I just want to leave you guys with that. Like really, this is a super fast call, but I just wanted to kind of impart on you how important connection is, especially this summer. You guys, this is a ton of seeds planted, and your fruit is going to show your work now. So like if you're going to harvest later, you know, obviously Laura enrolled the 7 people. So she's planting a bunch of seeds to be able to reap that harvest as fast as she can. So really, it's going to matter like how slow you want to go or how fast you want to go. The fruit's going to come quicker. So it's just really important to see like, how are you showing up? Are you really motivated? And maybe you're not, and that's okay. And those things can be built upon, and you can find something that motivates you or really hone in on the thing that motivates you. So if it's purpose, if it's autonomy, if it's relationships, whatever it is. But as a leader, finding those things out from your people so that you can have them focus on that and really run after those things. But really, guys, add value to people every day in every way you can, because that's going to build up relationship. It's going to build up trust, and that people feel like you really care about them. There's that quote. It's like people won't buy what you have until what's that quote? Does anyone know what that is? It's like people won't buy what you have until they know that you...
People won't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
Thank you. Christina saves the day. Thank you. Yes, it's so true. And they can smell it. You guys can smell it. I feel like if you take yourself out of the equation and you're kind of thinking, okay, you know, when you go into like a car dealership and they're like, everyone's after you, like, and they really want you to buy a specific car and you just feel like gross after. But if you go into Nordstrom, or even Costco, I don't know, but like Nordstrom, and you're just shopping and like, hey, let me know if I can help you with anything, or if you need a dressing room. Or if you need a stylist, like they're just there to help you, but they're not like, like, how can I help you? They're just, just let me know. I'm here for you if you need me. And, you know, if there's anything specific I can help you with, let me know. That feels really good. So ask yourself if you're being the pouncer, if you're being the person who's like super desperate, like they can smell that desperation on your face. Like nobody likes that. You don't like that. So when you're doing even stories, if you're doing stories, just take people throughout your day. Like, hey, I do this. It's really great. Like, I love this. We share things we love all the time. Share other things that you love. And like, hey, this is here if you want it. It's blessed my life. Maybe it'll bless yours. Without that, like, make sure you know that I don't know. It's just like, ugh. So I think it's really important, and maybe even ask somebody to go in and say, hey, can you like check out my social media or check, I don't know, am I like acting or feeling like I'm so desperate to make a dime? You know, like it's gross. So ask yourself those things. But really, I mean, you can do that in a great way with still bringing people into your vision of what you want for your life and others. So just find that happy dance, and don't be that hunter, be the fisherman. Okay, I'm going to open it up. Do you guys have any questions or want to say anything or share anything? Any wins? Unmute yourself if you do. Oh, Laura says in the chat, she immediately added the Hawaii friends to Facebook. It definitely helps. It absolutely helps. Like, it's just so great. That like, it brings ease into your life. It's just that simple, like, touch again. Anybody? I'm so glad you guys hopped on and took time out of your summer, if it is summer yet. And I hope you guys have amazing things happening. San Diego, Wednesday beach days. It's something that brings us all sanity. Oh, this was one quote I wanted to leave you guys with. Only transformed people transform communities. So we are all transformed people. We've been radically transformed by Isagenix, whether it's physically, emotionally, mentally, whatever, financially. And it is your calling, it is your duty to share that or to exude that transformation with others in community. And so I know even at Wednesday Beach Days, we always bring Isagenix products. We are always, I mean, someone always asks us like, oh, how do you know Christina? Or how do you know this person? Or whatever. It's like, oh, Isagenix or whatever. And so it comes up. People are like, oh man, I should get back on that. Or, oh, I see you're doing a summer slim down or whatever. Like, we're cleansing today, you know? So it just brings it up, and it's simple and it's easy. And we're not like, you should do it too. Oh my God. Like, just chill. We're not like that. So be a normal human and love people. And you can share this. I will put this on YouTube. Anything? No? We're good? All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week. Bye.